One take, one shot, 30 men and women in the Royal Rumble. We are officially on that road to WrestleMania, and I gotta tell you, I'm gonna disappoint a lot of you with my review today because I actually enjoyed the Royal Rumble 2026. I am not kidding you. I actually enjoyed it. I seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, this sucked. That person was buried. That person was buried." I actually took a peek at the hot takes. Go leave a hot take, by the way, for tomorrow's video. And people saying this is the worst Royal Rumble of all time, or in a very long time. But I liked it. I actually liked it. Now, don't get me wrong. There was one thing in this show that I absolutely hated, and there was a couple things that I didn't like, and there were a couple things that I thought were not bad. But overall, like, I understood why everything happened. I thought they raised and elevated up people who didn't win, but they still looked like $1 million. Not everybody. There were some bad decisions. I'm not going to say this was a perfect show, but overall, like, straight up, I would at least give it an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. By the time I'm done, I might give it a 9 or maybe a 7. I'm not sure yet, but I'm definitely 8. A solid 8 PLE. Now, again, was it perfect? No. Braun Breaker, they continue to make him look like a chump, but even in doing so, it was kind of good. They dropped the ball a little bit, though. We'll talk about that later. Let's talk about the women's Royal Rumble. We had Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss started off, right? And it's like, oh, here we go. They're gonna crash out finally, and they didn't. They teased that they were going to, like Charlotte Flair one time put Alexa Bliss on the turnbuckle and was like, I could knock you off. And then Alexa Bliss almost gave her the Sister Abigail. She's like, I could have done that to you. And then almost a figure 8. I could have done that to you. And then they were just friends. So, like, I'll be honest with you. Like, sometimes certain things can happen with certain wrestlers, but it can't happen with other wrestlers. If they would have done this with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, I would have thought that was garbage. But when Charlotte and Alexa did it, I don't know. There was something about it that I didn't hate. It was new, it was fresh, kind of. You know, I've seen the tag teams. They, you know, one of my favorite Royal Rumble moments was when Demolition, Walking Destruction, when Axe and Smash were number 1, number 2, and they fought. I thought that was so cool back in the day. But they did it again, but they reversed it, and they just didn't fight. It was just cute. Is cute the word? Am I allowed to say cute? Because it was quaint. It was just, I don't know. I liked it, and people probably hated it. But I thought it was okay. It was fun. What I didn't like, though, was when Kiana James came out next, and the tag team wasn't able to defeat Kiana James. It's like, come on. They should have tossed her over the top rope. It should have been a no-brainer that they could have got her over the top rope. Like, have Lash Legend or someone come out that could stand on their own fighting the tag team, former tag team champions long enough for someone else to come out and help them and even the odds. But I will say this. Kiana James impressed me. For a while, I thought Kiana James was going to be the standout of the Women's Rumble, but I will say I was thoroughly impressed with Kiana James. This was the most, I finally noticed her. Up until now, I just been like, why is she Julia's manager? Get rid of her. But no, now I'm like, okay, let's see what she has to offer. She even did a Samoan drop to Nia Jax. Like, all right, I see you, Kiana. You are officially on the WrestleChop radar. A lot of cool things happen. We had this face-off between, I'm not going to go over each individual person and entry because there's just too much. I'm trying to enjoy the show as well. I'm just going to tell you the big things that really stood out. Becky Lynch, the best in the world. She had a square off with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte might think she's the best in the world, but Becky is the best. And that's not just me saying it, but that's Sports Illustrated. That was kind of cool. I thought it was, I would have put money on AJ Lee eliminating Becky Lynch, but AJ Lee didn't even show up. That was weird. Like, That was one thing that didn't happen throughout this entire show. I can't necessarily fault WWE for being like, oh, why didn't you bring AJ Lee? Why didn't you bring? Well, I guess I can fault them for that one because AJ Lee is under contract. What kind of deal does she have? Brock Lesnar shows up more than AJ Lee, but like Chris Jericho also didn't show up. But I can't really fault them for that. They did not advertise Chris Jericho whatsoever. It was us fans who was like, is Chris Jericho coming? Is he going to break down the walls? Judas. That's on us. But yeah, AJ Lee didn't come out, and Becky will eliminate Maxine Dupree, and then Natty will eliminate Becky Lynch. So I thought that was like, whoa, that was Natty eliminating Becky Lynch. I thought that was interesting right there. I wouldn't have done that, but it was still really, it was cool. It was whatever. Sol Ruka, JC Jane, and Kalani James, sorry, I have a hard time pronouncing her name, but like they showed up. They had really good outings. Sol Ruka seems to be like everybody's favorite. I think she's gonna have a lot of thirsty fans. You watch. But yeah, she did a really good job in this Rumble. That soul catcher, I heard that people were like making fun of it, like, actual wrestlers, and they were like, oh, that's too situational. So Sol Ruka took it upon herself to figure out a way to make it happen almost anywhere, and Sol Ruka did a really good job. What else do we have? Oh, so I liked this one time. So was it JC Jane? No, Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka did the soul catcher on JC Jane, and then she just dumped JC Jane out like dead weight. I actually liked that. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody just really kind of just dead weight. Usually they get knocked out and they just stay there for a while. I like that. She picked her up and just kind of like nonchalantly, non-ceremoniously dumped JC Jane out. But JC Jane did a good job too. We got Nikki Bella came. I think they could have booked this better, but I was so happy and didn't realize that I wanted to see Brie Mode. Brie Bella showed up. Brie Bella, no joke, had the pop of the night. Brie Mode of all things. Definitely was a tag team affair for a while there, but yeah, happy for Brie Mode and Nikki Bella. There's your that's going to be your tag team matchup for WrestleMania, most likely. Not sure how I feel about that, but I was really happy to see Brie Mode. And everybody doing the yes chant. Saudi Arabia, they know their stuff. This is definitely a different crowd than the 2018 Greatest Royal Rumble crowd. Very different. This is a good crowd. This was a good crowd. Still not thrilled that the women aren't allowed to wear what they want to wear. I do hope there is progress being made on a lot of fronts. Back in 2018, the women weren't even allowed to wrestle. So I do acknowledge that progress is being made, but I would like to see the women allowed to wear whatever they want. That is my TED Talk. Let's not make this about a political thing in the comments. Now, also, Lash Legend. Whew. She definitely looked like $1 million here. They had her, like, she eliminated Charlotte Flair. She eliminated a bunch of people. Rhea Ripley would eliminate her, but it's okay to get eliminated by Rhea Ripley. Even though I'm not the biggest Rhea Ripley supporter, I do understand her appeal, and I wouldn't want to just job her out because I don't like her. Like, she has, like, very much, like, I understand why they push her as hard as they do. I wish they would just, pull back just a little. But at the end of the day, she did eliminate Lash. But Lash eliminated Io Sky. She eliminated a bunch of people. Charlotte Flair. That's a big deal. She was in there for a long time. She just looked really good, and the whole time she looked like a star. She had the most personality, in my opinion, except for maybe Liv Morgan. And one time, speaking of Liv, so Lash is I think Lash might be the breakout star of the Royal Rumble, even though she was in last year. She was the breakout star to me. And, but Liv Morgan just continued just showing me why she deserves to be at top and be the winner of the 2026 Royal Rumble. Finally the bride and not the bridesmaid. She is runner-up twice and was the third runner-up, one Royal Rumble, but she won. What I really liked about this was she was a very smart heel throughout this whole process in that she teamed up with Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez as long as it was convenient for her, but at the moment she had the opportunity, she dumped Raquel out, and Raquel was mad. And Liv was like, hi, bye. And Raquel's a heel, but she also has a justification that it is every woman for themselves. I love that here we got a heel that is really a heel. You know, she doesn't have love and respect for her people when it comes to getting in the ways of her goals. And she's the perfect level of annoying. And then she won. And the final sequence was, what was it? It was Sol Ruca, it was Tiffany Stratton, and it was Liv Morgan. Even the outfits were really good. I've already spoken on the outfits. I wish they were allowed to wear whatever they want to wear, but Liv was all in black and the other two was all in white. So it was very easy to distinguish everybody with that being said, and Liv just won. And it was all three on the outside. It was just a very good sequence. Very good job. This might have been my favorite women's Royal Rumble. Yeah, I mean, was it perfect? No, there were some botches and there was some of this, but one thing that happened that, they did last year, I remember last year, almost nobody would get eliminated. It would be 15, 16 people in the ring at one time. No, they would eliminate people. They would eliminate people that you would not think would be eliminated. Oh, I forgot this. What was it? Alexa Bliss was fighting someone. I can't remember exactly who. It might have been, no, it wasn't Nia. Was it Nia? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, it was Nia. And Nia had a hold of Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte kicked Nia, and Nia then dragged Alexa Bliss out with her, and it was oh my God, did Charlotte do that on purpose? So, you got that question. A lot of advancements. Plus, Kyrie accidentally went to hit Io Sky, but then hit Asuka, and then Asuka got eliminated. Then Io eliminates Kyrie. So, stories being told, people being elevated, the right winner. Liv Morgan was definitely the right winner. It was unfortunate Bianca Belair didn't show up, but again, that's on me. I just assumed. I cannot believe that knuckle injury. I've just been, any day now, I expected Bianca Belair back for the Money in the Bank last year. I'm officially worried. Will we ever see her again? It's man, a knuckle is taking her out? That sucks. I mean, thank God it's nothing like her neck, but you see people like Edge, he comes back from a neck injury, but the knuckle, I mean, hey, you know what? If there's nerve damage and you can't move your hand and stuff or support the weight, I mean, then you might be an unsafe wrestler at that point. So, I mean, I get it, but it's just crazy that she suffered so much damage when I would never have thought that a knuckle would would be a retirement injury. Just goes to show that you never know, and that these wrestlers are just consistently and constantly putting their lives, bodies, and everything on the line. So I'm sorry, Bianca, that I took your injury for granted. I hope you get well soon. But yeah, so she didn't show up, and that sucked. I wanted her to show up. Surprised AJ Lee didn't show up. Surprised that Paige didn't show up. I really do wish Paige would have shown up, because I feel I don't know, Paige never got to experience this portion of the women's revolution, steel cage matches, Hell in the Cells, Royal Rumbles, and all that stuff. I wish Paige got to experience some of that. Maybe next year. But yeah, the women's Royal Rumble. Loved it. Great winner. Liv Morgan, fantastic choice. Fan-freaking fantastic. Then we got to the part where I didn't like. We have AJ Styles versus Gunther. Great match. I knew they were going to have a great match. It was, but like, let's just skip to it. I mean, like I said, great match, but AJ Styles loses. He loses, and at least he passed out, and he didn't tap out. Even if he had tapped out, it wouldn't have been as bad as John Cena tapping out, because John Cena's whole personality was based on never give up, but he passed out. So I do appreciate the pass out. But I wish, if I had to choose, I would rather AJ have tapped and John had passed out. But regardless, I just can't believe that AJ Styles really, 2026 was supposed to be our year with AJ, and then no. 2026 January was our year with AJ. Just can't believe that. I gotta say, just on a very human level, I respect AJ so much. Here, AJ has known for a while, that the Royal Rumble was gonna be his swan song, but he also knew that John Cena was retiring in December. Therefore, he didn't want to, I don't know, he probably didn't want to, I wouldn't say overshadow, but he wouldn't want to take attention away from John, because the guy's so humble. Now it's all making sense on certain things that were happening throughout last year with AJ Styles. Not to mention John Cena doing that little intro at WrestlePalooza, the thing in Crown Jewel, I think it was. So many things make sense, and yeah, it really sucks. I wish we would have got more time with AJ Styles. He wants to go at his 10-year anniversary in WWE. That's on him. He's able to do whatever he wants. It just sucks for me, the wrestling fan. I wish we could have got him to WrestleMania or SummerSlam. I really wish that, but I wish AJ nothing but the best. The dude is a straight up solid human being from everything I've ever heard. Not one bad word spoken up against him. And AJ Styles, thank you. My favorite AJ Styles, believe it or not, was I really liked Beat Up John Cena Club, but when he was teaming up with Christian, and a lot of people didn't like that because AJ, and this is TNA, because AJ Styles was already a main event guy in TNA, and so suddenly he'd been reduced to kind of a silly, stupid sidekick, right? And I wouldn't say maybe stupid, but kind of maybe a lower IQ sidekick. And I really enjoyed it, though. And because I got into TNA around 2026, so I didn't see when AJ was fighting Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels until after the fact. So when I got in, I saw him as a sillier sidekick, and I really enjoyed his character. I loved watching him grow. And coming to WWE was a shocker. And I'm glad he made it. 10 years, AJ Styles. You are a GOAT. You are a GOAT, dude. For real, thank you. Thank you very much. And I wish you had a little bit more of an ego. I really do. So you could have got a proper retirement tour, but I know that this was probably your call. So just I respect you no ends, AJ Styles. But at the end of the day, we're now back to just a wrestling fan. This did put a big damper on the show for me. It did put a big damper. I did get over it. But for a minute there was a good solid 5 or 10 minutes where I was just oh, I wish that this was over. We go to the Drew McIntyre, and then Gunther, he's a heel, good. I guess we now know who's gonna retire Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, the guy. We know everybody's last match for the next 6 years. It's gonna be Gunther. But who's gonna retire the career killer? That's the question. But hopefully it's almost me. Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. I was very scared, but I guess I didn't need to be. They had Sami, Sami fought his hardest, and I think this will lead to next year where he will probably main event WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, and he has to now fight his way back to that position. But that said, unless he wins the Elimination Chamber, but that said, Drew McIntyre, he is probably going to walk into WrestleMania. This is awesome and amazing. I can't believe it. He beat Sami Zayn, and not only did he beat Sami Zayn, but he Claymore kicked him once, and then he went back and was I'm going to do it twice, and then he did it twice. Wow, we made Drew look strong. Like, cool, awesome, great job. This is good booking for Drew McIntyre. I have a lot of negative things to say about Triple H a lot of times, and he deserves it. However, I do gotta call. I gotta praise him also, and I praise him for this. I don't praise him for the AJ thing. I don't think AJ should have lost. But I praise him for the Women's Royal Rumble, and I praise him for this booking for Drew McIntyre. It was a good showing. And it was a good first opponent for Drew. Now let's go on to bigger, better things. Now we got the Men's Royal Rumble. Okay, so first off, it starts off with a bang. Obafemi. Holy cow. Obafemi, number 1. This is the first he's like really on the main roster. He did fight Cody for a minute, but like I could not believe we were starting with that. And we had already announced that Braun Breaker was going to be number 2. So it's like, ooh, this is very interesting. But then he's attacked by a masked man. Okay, masked man trope, way overdone. Way overdone. So that... There, see, I negative on Triple H. Negative. Way overdone. That person stomps Braun Breaker. Even Triple H said, that looked like a pretty clean stomp to me, so it's probably Seth. And now it's probably going to be Seth versus Braun at WrestleMania, which is a match that does make sense. We have those guys, but then he throws him in the ring, and instantly... Obafemi knocks him out. That's a great way to build up Obafemi. Problem is, it really kills Braun Breaker even more. I'll be honest, since Braun Breaker lost on January 5th or 6th to CM Punk on Netflix, I have not been feeling Braun Breaker. I know we can instantly heat him back up and everything, but like, for real, they are just continuously bringing him down a notch. I don't know what he did. Did he eat chicken over someone's bag? Because like, in a vacuum, it's a really cool spot. But for it to be Braun Breaker, that was so weird to me. Like, I wish it would have been like Bronson Reed even. And I know, I just did a video even saying, I can't believe we're burying Bronson Reed. But out of those two, I don't know. It's just weird that we did it to those two. Maybe we could have done it to Damian Priest or something. But like, so for Obafemi, it's great. Right? And it was a great thing. And that is what got me back into the event after AJ lost. But sorry, there was noise over there. Now I'm distracted. If I lose my train of thought, sometimes, I only have like 3 or 4 thoughts a day. If I lose one of them, it could be over. But for Braun Breaker, it was horrible. Yes, he was protected because he got beat up before. He was surprised out, all that stuff. Okay, so he was protected. But the problem is, again, it goes back to him not crashing out. He should have crashed out. If nothing else, he should have destroyed the set. He should have, when Solo Sikoa comes in second, Braun Breaker should have went and literally speared both of them. Because Solo Sikoa will eventually survive the Obafemi onslaught. They should have, if Braun Breaker would have surprise attacked both of them, at least Braun would have looked kind of like, okay, yeah, he looked a little strong even in his loss. But no, he just accepted the loss. Braun Breaker needs to stop accepting losses. When Adam Pearce suspended him, he was like, oh, okay. When Adam Pearce put his hands on him, he was about to beat him up, but then he didn't. It's like Braun Breaker needs to crash out completely. And he should have attacked both Braun and Solo after, sneak attacked them, and that could have then allowed the timer to tick down and more people to enter. He didn't, so Braun does look like a chump at the end of the day. He was protected, but he looks like a chump for not reacting after the fact. Obafemi, though, looked like $1 million. Obafemi does not win the Rumble, but he looks like $1 million. He lasts over 30 minutes, but he eliminated like the first 6 people. So, like, just amazing stuff right there. And there was a moment where Javon Evans, Obafemi, and Trick Williams were all in together. Like, these are the ones that were just called up. So it was a cool, like, this is the next generation. This is very much a class of OVW 2002 situation where you had Randy Orton, John Cena, Batista, and Brock Lesnar all together. Or this is the biggest impact of call-ups since the 4 Horsewomen or the Shield. So, big freaking deal. I don't like that Cody Rhodes kind of nonchalantly eliminated Trick Williams. Hopefully it might lead to a program with Cody. I would love to see that, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Because Cody will get eliminated, and he got eliminated really cool too. So this is like way late into the match. I'm skipping ahead. He's like Cody's like hanging, and Drew McIntyre out of nowhere just Claymore kicks him. Like, Drew's such a hater. I love that. I love that Drew's such a hater. He Claymore kicks Cody and he loses because he falls out because he was already almost falling out. And Drew said in the post show, he's like, I don't care who won as long as it wasn't Cody. Cody, like, he cost me too many shots. Like, I'm his worst enemy. I'm just glad he didn't win. So that was really cool on his part. There were some funny spots. Mr. Iguana came in. It was funny. Damian Priest, he was eliminated by Trick Williams. Trick looked good. I like that Trick wrestled with his coat on for a little bit. Javon looked fine. I didn't like this. So Brock Lesnar comes out, right? And it's like, oh my God, Brock Lesnar, and he fights. And we get that Oba Femi thing. We get the stare down, and then they have to fight people. Then we get the stare down again. Brock Lesnar will eliminate Oba Femi. No shade in getting eliminated by Oba Femi. However, the shade comes into this almost immediately after Jey Uso's music hits. And so we're kind of focused on Jey Uso yeeting, and then Brock will get eliminated by LA Knight and Cody Rhodes, like, almost immediately. Like, if we were just going to do that, we should have had Oba eliminate Brock. Had Oba eliminate Brock and then something else. Or you have Oba and Brock completely focused on each other. Like, they're literally just like two giant bears, bears just fighting near the ropes. And then LA Knight and Cody Rhodes, they just lift them. You know what I'm saying? It could have been handled better. It could have been handled better. It was just a waste of eliminating. It was a waste of eliminating Brock and Oba Femi. We could have just tweaked it. Not a perfect Rumble, like I said. LA Knight comes out, right? LA Knight comes out to the pop. Now, Braun Breaker's gone, so what are we going to do? LA Knight will eliminate both Bronson Reed and Austin Theory, thus making the Vision look like pure chumps. The Vision looked horrible, as they continuously do. They just have the Vision sucks. All right, the Vision sucks. But LA Knight will just, I think Cody Rhodes eliminates LA Knight, but again, that's just kind of like, whatever. It's like, we took LA Knight off TV a month ago just so we could get this return pop at Royal Rumble, and he kind of gets his revenge on the Vision, but he's just non-ceremoniously thrown out. He could have made it the Final Four. One of my favorite parts of the Rumble, though, was Jey Uso. He does his run it back. I hated that. But then Roman comes, and he says, "Hey, you want to run it back?" And Jay's like, "Yeah, let's run it back." And then he hits him. So I love that Roman turned on Jey Uso right there. Hey, every man for himself. Later, Jay will try it on Roman, so hopefully Roman doesn't hold it against him, because it's like, hey, every man for himself. I think that's pretty much it till we get to the Final Four. Rusev got eliminated real quick, beginning to think that maybe he should have stayed in AEW. Speaking of AEW, a lot of fans like to make fun of AEW for only selling out half the house. Well, there was like a sea of empty seats in Saudi Arabia. I know that they probably made a ton of money regardless, and Big Daddy TKO doesn't care if there's nobody there and he's still making those big old bucks. That's right. All I care about is what the bank account looks like, not if there's seats that are empty. But regardless, a lot of seats that were empty. But Rusev, maybe he should have stayed in AEW. Maybe he should have. And the Powerhouse Hobbs came. Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, they did originally show the name Powerhouse Hobbs, but then they changed it to Royce Keys. I don't like the name Royce Keys, and it just might be because I think Powerhouse Hobbs was a really cool name. Like Powerhouse Hobbs. Royce Keys is like, okay, hey Royce, what's up? But hey, Powerhouse, just, I don't know, sound better. He didn't have it wasn't like Powerhouse didn't do anything great and spectacular. They probably should have held him off. They probably should have introduced him. Like, it felt like this was Oba's like coming out party, not Powerhouse Hobbs, but it didn't subtract from the Rumble. Powerhouse Hobbs, he was fine. I think they should have just not debuted him here. The Grande Americano came out, but then the weirdest thing happened. They said another Grande Americano came out, and they were like, original Grande Americano. I don't understand. There's only one Grande Americano, so we got something going on that's weird and shady. Two Grande Americanos were in the ring. One, it might be like the Mirror Universe, where in the Mirror Universe in Star Trek, if you had a goatee, you were the evil Grande Americano, and it was like your doppelganger. So, like, from an alternate timeline, the multiverse, if you're more of a Marvel fan. And the thing is, the original Grande had a beard, so this might just be a Grande Americano from an alternate dimension. Ilya, people are gonna be mad that Brock Lesnar no-sold Ilya Dragunov. They will be mad about that. And then we're at our final four. Our final four is Logan Paul, Gunther, Roman Reigns, and who was the final four? I don't even know what the other guy was, but he didn't win. He didn't win, that's for sure. And Logan Paul didn't win, that's also for sure. And then we go. It was a good final four too. I don't know why I can't remember it, but we got then Roman and Gunther. This is kind of a cool matchup if you think about it. Who did Cody get eliminated by? I don't even remember that. Cody got eliminated. Oh yeah, I already talked about that. The Drew McIntyre Claymore kick. So we got Roman and Gunther. If you think about it, these were the final bosses of the main event scene and the mid-card scene for about 2 years. 2023, 24, and parts of 22. These were your final bosses. You had to either beat Gunther to win the Intercontinental title or Roman to win the Undisputed Championship. So that was pretty cool. And it was like, is this going to be Gunther's night? He already beat AJ Styles, and it wasn't. Roman won. Roman did win, and I know a lot of people are already, I don't want a part-timer. I mean, Cody Rhodes, when he won I'm not saying two wrongs make a right, because Cody Rhodes, when he won the title the second time around, he instantly left for like 6 weeks, and he could be like, oh, well, he had a movie to film. I don't care. He wasn't around. So, like, when CM Punk won the title, he went away for like 4 weeks. That's just what they do nowadays. And it's like, I've been trying to curb my expectations for SmackDown and Raw lately, because it's like Triple H just books like dull and boring, and it's not like the Attitude Era. And now I'm trying to curb my expectations for WWE talent. They let them go away. And if we're gonna let part-timers be champions, then Roman can be champion. But if you don't want part-timers to be champion, then you got to hold Cody Rhodes accountable, CM Punk accountable, all these people accountable. Or you have to lower your expectations and just realize that WWE just now lives off part-timers. Is it right? No. But if that's the case, then I'd rather the king of part-timers be the king, have the title than not. So that's how I feel about that. Plus, at least Roman built it into his character. He built it into his character that he's not around. If he's a bad guy. If he's a good guy, then no. But if he's a bad guy, because what did he say? I make 10 times more than you. I work 10 times less than you. But Cody is like, I'm going to be first in, first out, and then he doesn't show up. But Roman's like, yeah, buddy, I'm never showing up. So, like, Roman made it work for him. He was like almost the exception to the rule. And that's what I see. That's what I see. I know some people will be mad. I know you probably want me to hate on Roman, but he's my tribal chief. I'm not gonna let him slide on things, though. I'm not gonna let him slide on things. And I do hope that if he does not show up, that I wish that he wouldn't. He wouldn't be. Like, if Roman doesn't show up again into Elimination Chamber, I will call that out as well. But if Roman's going to be present, and I'm not saying every week, but if he is going to be present, then I don't see a problem with him not being there every week. Roman makes it interesting. Plus, Roman literally went on the Pat McAfee show, called out creative, and still had the power to win the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns might be the only person able to stand up to Triple H. And I think we can all agree Triple H's booking is like, at best. We need someone with power to be able to say, no, Triple H, this story sucks. And we're gonna do a better story. And Roman might be the only guy who might have that. I'll probably do a whole video on that. I'm not 100% sure. But there you go. That's your Royal Rumble. I give this an 8 or a 9, even with the AJ loss. Like, this was a good show to me. I loved it. I really did enjoy this Royal Rumble, and I'm sorry if you did not. So, boys, so girls, let me know what you thought. Tell me your scale, your chops on the chop-o-meter in the comments below. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you on that road to WrestleMania. WrestleMania, fighting to survive.